No, I'm honored to speak with you. I have to say, you've shaped my love of horror. I was a 2000s gore fan, so of course you were such a big deal. Do you remember like moments when you were growing up in shocking films, or maybe a moment that had a crazy moment in film that kind of dragged you in?
Oh yes, I mean, I think the one moment that really made me somehow what I am today was very early on. I was maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7, and I end up watching The Shining by accident. And I have to say that I remember very, precisely like being in front of my TV just a few feet away and not be able to just walk to stop the VCR, not be able to, like, being completely hypnotized, traumatized, like almost like in immersive state within the movie. From the music to the twin, everything was kind of like I I think that day understood the power of the genre when it really deliver in a level of like making you like watching something that you not actually watch, but you leave. It's like that ultimate immersive experience. So yeah, I would say that was the one. But then, I mean, even recently, I remember like I think like when I went to see Longlegs, I was not expecting to be, like, whoa, that got me. And even like Strange Darling was surprising. I mean, like there is so many every year, there's so many great movies that are still coming. I'm so happy, and the type of movies are so much alive and changing and evolving, and so many new talents are coming. It's great.
I love that you are still current with the genre as well, but Never Let Go gets to be one of the great horror films of the year. I love that you mix a little bit of psychological horror, a little bit of survival horror. There's some paranormal there. There's so many different elements. Did you find that fun as a filmmaker to play around and give your audience that? Or was that hard to juggle all of that craziness?
It was in the same time very hard to juggle, but in the same time very exciting, because what I liked the most in that project was what you think is going to be another kind of a Quiet Place or Bird Box post-apocalyptic story about a family living off the grid turn into something very different, turn into something that's keep you wondering, the how much is real, what is like really happening, and you going back and forth. And I mean, it was kind of a real journey within the story that I wanted to preserve. And that was the challenging part, is of course, as you're making it, you're getting much more like familiar with it. So you need to keep that distance as a first time moviegoer, what you will think, what you will interpret. And during the editing process, it took us a moment to figure out exactly the right construction to keep this exciting, proactive, connecting the dot for the audience to understand exactly what is happening.
Yeah, there's so many twists and turns. I found myself having to grasp myself in reality a couple times. And this is all led perfectly by your wonderful female lead. I have to say, throughout your history, you've been blessed with talented women actresses. They're so amazing. Can you speak to me about working with Halle real quick and what it was like getting her to bless you with one of your best performances I've seen?
I I mean, I cannot be grateful enough, to be honest. And I was telling her that yesterday during the premiere. I was this movie, every time I watch it, I just forget about everything. I just see the quality of what she's bringing to the screen and how real it is. And I remember the first time we met, when she looked at me in the eyes and told me, I want to be sure we're not going to compromise on the character. I want to be sure that we're going to preserve all the layers of Mama, that we're going to explore all the darkness that she has inside her, and we're not going to try to make her more like a hero or a likable mother. We're going to even push further that, and this is exactly what I wanted to do, and to give me that trust and give me the opportunity to together to push the envelope even further was a blessing.
It's amazing to see. It's a brilliant performance, and I think one of my favorite films from you. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. It's been an honor,
Thank
like I said. No, I have a quick question. So Anthony, I have to say, I saw you in two horror movies this year already. First off, what is it like making a movie like this, and how can you handle all that scariness?
Really because, well, I can't say I know it's not true because The Deliverance was based off of a true story. So that means I'm not going to Pittsburgh anymore. So, but I know like because mostly in the horror side of genre, like I don't really like watching it, but doing it is pretty fun because like there's a lot of stunts and horror and harness stuff, and being on a harness, I just love it. If I could be on a harness every day, I would just do that because I just like Spider-Man, he's always on a harness. Like he's on a harness going back and forth. I can't imagine that. That's so cool.
That's so funny. That's actually one of my next questions was like, do you want to do stunts like that? Like your character goes through it in this movie, man. Like, so I was like, is this something you want to get into? Maybe being like a Spider-Man in a movie one day?
Yeah, that'd be really cool, especially Miles Morales because there's a bit of a meme going around for the Deliverance.
That's awesome. Now, Percy, I have to say, I love your work in this movie, and you get to work with Anthony and Miss Halle Berry, who was just such great performers. What was it like on set with them, and do they help, guide you through some of the more intense stuff? Because you do some serious acting here.
Thank you. They do guide me through a lot of the intense stuff. Miss Hallie and AJ were always there to comfort me. Like as soon as they would cut, they would be there to be there to pat my back and be like, "You okay?" and things like that. Like they were always there for me. I'm so grateful for that. And it was so great to work with them. AJ's a great actor, and Miss Hallie is a great actress. It was such an honor to work with such a legend, and I'm so proud.
I love that even at your young age, you're like, no, legend. I know a legend when I meet her. That's so awesome. No, and that's pretty cool. And I love that you get to have this bond with, the mama character, but also your guys' brotherly bond is really awesome. Percy, talk to me about building that relationship. Did you guys get to like hang out on set and outside of set to kind of build your brotherly bond? Because I felt it even when you guys were fighting with each other. I felt that brotherly bond.
Yeah, there was a really big brotherly bond there. I think of AJ as a brother myself now. We spent so much time together through the casting process and through shooting. 3 months in the woods and 1 month in a big room will definitely grow on you. So it was such an honor to work with him. We did hang out a lot on offset and onset. On offset, we were in the same room during school, so we were always there to talk to each other while we were doing school. And then offset, like when we were just out in the streets, we would go to arcades and go out to eat and things like that. And then on set, we were still telling jokes to each other and talking to each other. Like we were always hanging out with each other in Canada.
You probably definitely need those jokes when how long in the woods? 3 months? I would have went insane. I don't want to spend
Uh,
3 minutes in the woods. I can only imagine you guys were tired of the bugs and stuff. No, thank you guys so much for talking with me today. It's been awesome. I loved your work in this movie. You all kicked some butt. So thank you so much for talking with me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.